Doesn't it occur to you that these nuclear submarines are actually designed to stop a war and protect our economy? Didn't we see only last year Russia declare war because they believed Ukraine to not have a credible defense? The reason why Australia needs nuclear submarines isn't because of warmongering ambitions, rather the current diesel-electric Collins-class submarines, originally commissioned decades ago, are simply not designed for the current world we live in. They were built during a time where Australia had no credible Western Pacific rivals to speak of, and thus these submarines needed to patrol only near Australia. Now in the 2020s going to the 2030s, to maintain the current status quo of peace and free trade in the Pacific, and that is the basis of Australia's prosperity. Australia wants the ability to credibly make the prospect of disrupting this peace as painful and as unattractive as possible, which means being able to cut off China from crucial trade using the choke points like the Malacca Strait, which would cripple China from fuel, food, and other trade. But unfortunately, if a diesel submarine was to trundle from Australia to the South China Sea with only 50 to 70 days of endurance, they would only have a week or two of fuel to actually patrol those waters, and they would also have to surface pretty much every day. And in these small choke points, the risk of detection is unacceptably high. A nuclear submarine has no such limitations and can stay in the South China Sea, and we would only need a few of them for the ability to deny the use of these critical shipping lanes almost indefinitely. It's a real credible force that can genuinely help deter war. As for the costs, in the grand scheme of things, it's $300 billion spread over 30 years. It's increasing defense spending from 2.05 to 2.2% of GDP. And do you think all this money is going to evaporate into nothing? No, it's creating 20,000 highly skilled local jobs. It's supercharging Australia's technological and industrial capabilities and will benefit the wider economy. Building Australia's industry and skilling up the workforce is more beneficial to the economy in the long term than simple welfare. And while we talk about the economy, it's the economy that these submarines are trying to preserve. Australia's prosperity comes directly from the peaceful rules-based order that facilitates free and safe trade across the waters, and China is a revisionist power who wants to reform this system and remodel it to benefit itself, not Australia. And the West are the ones who are currently benefiting from this current status quo, and if I'm honest, China has done very well using this system as well. So losing this current world order built from the stability that the American and Western navies provide is going to cost way more than the $300 billion that these submarines cost. Merely maintaining the current hospital, schools and welfare, if the status quo changes, would be very difficult, yet alone improving them. And that is why it's such a simplistic mindset to simply roll your eyes at foreign policy and defense costs and believe that all this money should be used domestically, because the former protects our ability to do the latter. Before you reallocate your wealth, it's good practice to work out where it's coming from in the first place. Thanks for watching.